Tell us a little bit about the 6-day tour and the ring road.
Well, the 6-day tour with Arctic Adventures is it's quite an amazing tour. It's a quick-paced tour, but it is it shows you the highlights. The ring road is like it says, it's a circle. So we go around the country and see a lot of things along the way. And the 6-day tours we do see a lot of waterfalls. Be prepared for that. But waterfalls here in Iceland are all different and they are quite amazing. And something I never get tired of. All of them have their each personality, everybody's different. And what we also do on this 6-day tour is that we have so many different people joining us. We have people from all over the world coming together, enjoying Iceland in a 6 days period. And not only enjoying the drive around Iceland, but also enjoying each other's company.
Okay, so then I have to ask, what's your favorite stop?
Well, I probably already mentioned that I really like waterfalls, and and yes, I particularly like Dettifoss. It's located in the northeastern parts of Iceland, and it's quite long to go there. It's a little out of the way, but just the sheer magnitude of water going through that waterfall, and it's also been used in like a few movies, like Prometheus and stuff like that. So it's a beautiful location in the middle of nowhere, and I think of that would be my favorite stop. But usually this question is really hard because there are so many beautiful places that we see. But just from the top of my mind.
Okay. All right. And the favorite thing about doing the 6-day tour?
Well, basically it is the company. That's company of people. The reason why I love my job is because I like being around people and I like showing people around my country. So it's a perfect venue for me, and it's a beautiful opportunity for me to show people my beautiful country and interacting with them and learning about them and their culture, which makes it truly amazing. And I made a lot of good friends over the years, and some of who I still keep in contact with. And it's just an amazing experience that I wish upon my customers to have, and the interaction is by far the favorite thing I do on the tour. That's the people.
And where do we stay on the tours?
Well, we don't stay in like fancy hotels, but we stay in good accommodations. We stay in like farmhouses and/or like hotels along the way, somewhere not in the settlements, or like try to stay a little bit further out to be more seclusive and have a little bit more privacy. It gives you a little bit more idea about how the rural setting is, rather than staying in a busy city. You already get an idea about that in Reykjavik, so we want to take you a little bit further out and show you more of that. Yeah. So, but the accommodation can vary between places, but we try to find what's best.
So what are the pros of doing a 6-day tour instead of just doing day tours out from Reykjavik?
Well, probably like I said in the beginning, it's a perfect highlight tour. It's not a long tour. 6 days and you're traveling a long distance, but what you're getting is the highlights of Iceland. You're going around the island. You get to see all the different landscapes Iceland has to offer in a matter of few days, and it gives the buyer, the one who goes on this trip, a perfect opportunity to plan their further vacation to Iceland, to see what areas they would like to visit more, what they would like to see more of Iceland. And so I think that is pretty much the selling point for me if I was doing this tour, as a customer, not as a guide, is I would see Iceland and I would have a local to take me there, to tell me the stories I wouldn't hear, or tell me what's happening in the areas locally, in the community. I wouldn't know that unless I had somebody local with me. And yeah, and since most of you guys do not speak Icelandic, it's gonna be hard to get really to know the locals.
Okay. So being a local, you must know people at a lot of the stops. Do you join the tours, or what are you doing when people are doing the activities?
Well, like my family personally is quite spread out around Iceland, and if I get the chance to, I try to catch up with them. For example, on the whale watching part of the tour, I usually don't join my clients for the whale watching because my son lives in the area, and I use the time to catch up with him. And I don't always join activities because it's used to be, or supposed to be, like time for the guide to like have his rest. And sometimes we do join, but it's.
Okay. One question that I really want to ask: what's the weirdest thing that's happened on the tour?
Oh. Well, it must have been. Well, for the sake of the person, I'm not going to be telling you which tour it was on, but it must have been the time where I was driving, like so many times. I'm a driver and guide, so I'm always driving. And I had this woman on tour with me. I didn't really. It gave off a weird vibe, and I was sitting there in the front, and it was getting late, and most of the people were falling asleep. And I thought everybody was asleep, so I was alone with myself, just driving. And all of a sudden, I feel like somebody's touching the back of my head and rubbing it up and down, and it totally weirded me out. I did not know what to do. It was one of my first tours, and I was just like, jeez. Did not know what to do. I had to build up some courage. Like, it probably took me 20 minutes to look back and to try to man up and just say, hey, could you please stop this? So, but before that happened, luckily, my sweater that was hanging on top of like where I was sitting fell down on me, and it had been the sleeve of my sweater that had fallen down and was rubbing the back of my head. So it was not, luckily, the person behind me. This person ended up being brilliant, and so there's no blame for her. But yes, this was the most difficult or weirdest 20 minutes of my life, probably, and especially in this tour. Taking some customer was giving me an unwanted head massage. Yeah.
Oh, okay, but what would you think would be your fondest memory of one of the 6-day tours?
Fondest memories. I would have to say it was a person who was traveling with me was recently a widower, and we did find out as a group, and not in the beginning of the tour but later on, and just seeing how everybody came together and being like really supportive of that one person who was going through a tough time. Just it reminds you that it's like there's a lot of good in the world, and that would probably be my fondest moment, seeing a lot of strangers coming together to step up and really be there for a person they didn't know.